Moons, cranes, and tigers. What do they all have in common? Well, there are 3 of the 4 movements in the open and filling the 8 vessels that we're going to be covering today. They're the last 4 movements in that series. Quite a while ago, we covered the first half of that series, and you can look through the intermediate Qigong videos playlist, and you'll find it mentioned there. So today, we're working on that second part. As always, when we do the different movements, we'll focus on getting our feet, our stances, correct, and then move into working the body from there. So, white crane points to the 7 stars. Ride the tiger. And one more. Let's wait and see what it's all about. I'm Jack Godfrey, and this is Intermediate Qigong. This is one of 3 videos that I publish a week on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Monday is Intermediate Qigong, Wednesday is Beginner Qigong, and on Friday it's Beginner Tai Chi. On Saturday I offer a live class on Zoom, Beginner Qigong as well. If you'd like more information about the Saturday class, send an email to jack.godfrey49@gmail.com. And now, let's get on with today's class. Tigers, cranes, and a moon. What do they all have in common? Let's find out. At the time we're recording this, we're coming up to the end of the early summer season, the 5 seasons in traditional Chinese medicine, and it's also known as the fire season because the element is fire and the color is red or rose. And the series associated with this season as well is open and filling the 8 vessels. Several weeks ago we covered the first part of that series, and today we're going to be covering the last part. However, to begin with, as always, we establish our foundation, and we're going to be doing some movements to warm the body up a little bit before we get into the movements within open and filling the 8 vessels. So your hands are wet. Shake the water off your hands. Get the elbows, the shoulders, and the wrists moving, and then we add in the hips, the knees, and the ankles. This is open and filling the 8 vessels. We turn and we look over the shoulder. We come back to the front. And then exhale. We turn and look over the other shoulder. So inhaling and exhale. I want to get a good twist in the spine. Inhaling here. And exhale. Inhale for a count of 4. And exhale as you twist for a count of 4. Inhale here. And exhale. And now we come back to the front. Should have some tingling in your hands, a little bit of pink in your palms. And this is getting the chi out to the extremities. What we're looking to do is warm the hands, warm the feet, cool down the head. Bring that chi in to the brass basin. And next is standing on a boat. So it's the inhale, you're on the small triangle. We lift the ribs, we lift the chin, stretch the front of the body. This is the dragon's back. We bring the arms up. Then exhale, tuck the tailbone, drop the ribs, drop the chin, stretch the back. This is a turtle back. So inhale, small triangle. Exhale, large triangle. So inhale and exhale. And we'll do one more of these. And next we're going to work on Red Dragon plays with the ball. And this is going to get us working on some side-to-side movement, which is part of what's involved in the open and filling the 8 vessels when we get to that bit. So you stand out to the side a little bit. And a little bit is stacking the bones. So this knee bent, this leg straight, shoulder, ribs, hip, ankle, all in a pile. This is the stack of bones. So this knee is bent, this leg is straight. Now we come over here, and when we move from side to side, at this point, both knees are bent. So we're not going up and down, we're going straight across. So in the middle, both knees are bent. We're over here, this leg straight, this knee is bent. Shoulder, ribs, hip, ankle, all in a pile here as well. Now, as we move from side to side, you want to land in the heel. Shift the weight to the toes. Push with the toes. Land in the heel. Shift into the toes. We push and we come over here. And so what's happening is that we turn, we push with the toes. This causes the hips to turn. We land in the heel, so we're facing this way. Shift the weight into the toes. The hips turn. Push with the toes. We land in the heel. So the hips turn here as well, and the torso is just sitting on top of the hips. And so now we hold a ball here. This leg has all the weight. This arm is up high. Shift into the toes. Let the ball come down to the center. Land in the heels. The ball rises up on this side. This leg has the weight. This arm's on top. So we come down here. Inhale. We come up. And exhale. Inhaling. And exhale. So we follow the gaze. We follow the hands with our gaze. We'll do a couple more iterations of this. Last cycle. Push with the toes, land in the heel. Watch the ball come up and down. And we come back to the center and we bring our feet back together. So now we'll move on to open and filling the 8 vessels, the last half. So the first one we're looking at is Crescent Moon, and so we got to get the feet set up for this. So once again, we're back in that stacking of the bone stance. So you put the foot off to the side, but the difference here is the toes are pointing off to the side here. So all the weight's in this leg. So we had the stack of bones here, and we have the toes lifted and the heel lightly on the floor. The majority of the weight is in this leg here. Now the arms. Bring the hands up over the head. So this one goes up as much as possible. Elbow over the shoulders going straight down to the heel. And then you bend the hand here. And we're looking this way as well. So you bring the hands together. So fingers and thumb touch like so. And now lower the bottom hand. The top hand rises just up out of the top of your vision, and the bottom hand drops down to about shoulder height and pushes away. So this is the mouth of the moon. So we're opening up the mouth and we're looking through that opening. So I just barely see the fingers at the top of my vision, and the other hand is about shoulder height and pushing away. Take the hips and shift them a little bit. This is Crescent Moon. Push the elbow up to the heavens. And we gaze here. And you hold these movements for several breaths. And now we're going to move to the opposite side. So the hands come up. Now this foot turns and points straight ahead. We make a big circle. Go down low if you wish. Stay up high if you wish. Now, stack the bones here. We come up. This foot turns and points this way now. We lift the toes as the hands come here. Elbow points to the heavens. Finger and thumb touch. torso is facing forward, and we're looking over the shoulder towards the space between the hands. So remember, finger and thumb touch, we come down, we push out, top hand just barely in our vision, bottom hand about shoulder height. Shift the hips a little bit, and we hold here. Push the elbow to the heavens. And now we go around to the opposite side. So you swing the foot and bring it to the floor so both feet are pointing straight ahead. We make a circle. We shift the weight. So we're on this leg now. We turn the toe, lift the toes, and we push here. And we hold for several breaths on either side. And we'll do once more on the other side. So the feet are parallel. We make a big circle. We shift the weight. We point with the foot. And we're here. Point the elbow to the heavens. And then we bring the feet parallel, we do a circle, and we stop. So that was Crescent Moon. Now the next one is White Crane points to the 7 stars. So we're back in our narrow stance here. So the feet are parallel, outside of hips, outside of feet, one above the other. Heel just about touches the ball joint of the other foot. Lift the heel, lift the toes, swing back. And so that's roughly what we're looking for here. So White Crane points to 7 stars is a balancing posture. And so depending on how good your balance is, this is going to be a piece of cake or it's going to be a major challenge. And so let's start. We're going to work from our top down in this case. So White Crane points to the 7 stars. A White Crane implies we're standing on one leg. 7 stars are off here behind me. And so we point, we turn the torso, and we point to the 7 stars. So looking at it straight on here, so this hand is pointing as well, and both hands are palm up and around about the elbow. And we turn and we look behind us, and so we're pointing at the 7 stars off in the distance. And now, center the weight over this leg. Lift this foot, and if you need to, you can keep your toe touching the floor, and you want to, lift it up and go like, balance isn't that good today, or maybe it's like, okay, center the weight, sink down, lift the knee, we lift the hip, and we go, look, I'm balancing. And it might be a new treat for you, or maybe it's like, whatever, balance isn't a big deal. As we get older, this is one of the movements that you want to work on to keep your balance, keep your mobility and your flexibility. So put all the weight on this leg this time, and we point over here. So we're pointing at the 7 stars, and we have a twist in the torso. We're looking over the shoulders. Center the weight on this foot. Bend the knee, sink into the floor. Lift the toe. And then you lift up and you go, no, balance isn't so good today. And you go here and it's like, oh, this helps. And I just pushed myself over here. So you're here. Important point is don't lift the hip, lift the knee. And that way, because if you lift the hip, you're going to tip everything over and you're going to fall over faster. So we're here, we lift up. And now we move to the opposite side. As you can see, today's not a good balancing day for me. So we're here, nice twist in the spine. We lift the knee up. And we come on down, last side. So put all the weight in this leg. We're reaching over here. And we lift up. And we come on down. So one of the things that a balancing posture such as Crescent Moon, such as White Crane points to the 7 stars, is it helps to rehabilitate your ankles. If you've ever sprained your ankle or broken your ankle or anything with foot and ankle in the past, this balancing on one foot works all the small muscles, all of the ligaments, all of the tendons in the ankle joint to support you while you're standing up. Your weight will shift from one side to the other, from the toes to the heels, and we're up here like this, and we're pointing off to the side, and the foot is doing all sorts of things to help balance you and keep you from falling over. So if you've had an ankle injury in the past, balancing on one leg will help to improve the health of that joint. Now, that was White Crane points the 7 stars. Next one is Ride the Tiger. So for this guy, we start out in horse stance. So the feet are parallel. And the feet are wider than when we're in that stacking of the bone stance as well. So horse stance, you bring the knees forward, you keep shoulders over the hips, and you want to bring the knees forward over the big toe. Now, Ride the Tiger, we start out in horse stance to begin with. This is one of the ways to get into it. And so to begin with, we start with taking a foot and turning it and pointing. So you shift the weight here, take this foot and turn it, and we step back a little bit. Shift the weight forward, so head, knee, ankle all in the pile. This foot, we're going to turn it so the heel's further away. And now we're in bow stance, so the hips are facing this way. This heel on the floor, this leg straight, this knee bent, and we lower down as much as possible. Now bring the leg that's back. That arm comes forward, the hand protects the knee, light fist, palm pointing down. The other hand up by the head, and we look to the open side, this being the open side. So this is Ride the Tiger. And we hold here for several breaths. And now we move on to the opposite side. So you lift up, you turn this foot, we come back to horse stance. So the feet are on the same board here, more or less. Shift the weight. Take this foot and point it that way. And bring it back some as well. So we have some boards between our feet, which gives us side-to-side stability. Bend the knee. Now, fix this foot. Pivot on the ball joint. Bring the heel down. Lower the hips. Hips are now facing this way, bow stance. Leg that's back. Bring that hand around, protect the knee. Other hand up, just out of the vision, and we look to the side. And you hold here for several breaths. You're looking for a straight line from the back of the head, the back of the hip, the back of the heel. So you're looking for a straight line all the way down. And you can lower as much as you would like. And then we come back to bow stance, or to horse stance. Now the other route you can use to get here is C-stepping or task walking. So we're here. Point this foot to the side, 45 degrees more or less, and we're facing this way as well. Follow the side of the foot, reach forward, come over here and come down. We're on the heel. Once again, we have several boards between our feet, lowering down, and for bow stance we want to have a greater distance. So you take this back foot back, we're here, And we look to the open side. And then we come on back. And now you're going to have a look from the back. So we're pointing this way, the hips are this way. We step forward, we land here, head and the ankle in a pile. If you wish, you can take this back leg back a little bit. Now the leg that's back, that arm protects the knee, the other hand up by the head, and we look to the open side. And then we come on back. So that was Ride the Tiger. The last movement in the Open and Filling the 8 Vessels series is Natural Palm Points to the Heavens. So for this guy, I'll do it straight on and then we'll do it off to the side. But once again, we have our foot pointing off this way. We reach forward and we have a 7-star stance here. So we're here, we do a bit of a C-step, and we bring the heel down, the toes up. This knee bent slightly. Sink into most of the weights in the back leg. And now, take your first 2 fingers. All right, we'll come up so you can have a close look here. So the natural palm business, you take this hand and you take the first 2 fingers. So you put the fingertip on the first knuckle. The other 3 fingers are holding a ping pong ball. So that's what you're looking to do. So first 2 fingers touch, and the other 3 are approaching each other. We're holding a ping pong ball or a golf ball between our fingertips. So that's the natural palms. And now, natural palms point to the heavens. So we set up our foundation first. So you step forward with the heel. The toes are lifted. So this is a 7-star stance. Sink into the back leg. So most of the weight's back here on this back leg. A little bit on the front leg. Knee slightly bent. And we create that natural palm. Finger touch is the first knuckle. The other 3 fingers come towards each other. The leg that's forward, that arm is high. Elbow about the same height as the shoulder. The other hand underneath the elbow, and both hands point to the heavens. Now let's have a look. We do it, of course, on the other side as well. So we step forward into 7-star stance. We sink down. Elbow about the same height as the shoulder. Other hand underneath the elbow. And we're looking off into the distance as the 7 stars, as the natural palms point to the heavens. Now let's look at it from the side. So we're here. We step forward. This knee slightly bent. This one bent a whole lot. And we're here like so. So the wrist is further ahead than the elbow. So this joint is a little bit open. We look to the distance as the hands point to the heavens. And we flex the wrists so the fingers are pointing straight up as much as possible. And now the other leg forward. We're here. The weight in this leg, we're here like so. A little bit of weight in this front foot. Joint is open, wrists are flexed, and we hold here for a couple breaths. And we'll look at it straight on once more. So we step forward into 7-star stance. And the hands are here. We flex the wrists and we point up to the heavens. And from this side, we step forward, 7-star stance, like so. And that is natural palms point to the heavens. And so now we're going to wrap up for today with our 5 directions. But first of all, we're going to pull down the heavens 3 times. So it's inhale, And exhale. 2 more. So 5 directions are advance, retreat, go to the left side, go to the right side, and then we come down to the center. Now to do it, to get the most benefit out of it, we need to be in our stacking of the bones stance. So the feet are parallel. You want to be able to get the hips, the shoulder, the ribs, the hip, over the ankle, knee bent, leg straight. And so we start here. Advance. Retreat. Off to the left. Down to the hips. Off to the right. Down to the hips. And then to the center. Inhale for a count of 4. Exhale. Inhale. Inhaling over here. Inhale, the hands come up, we come down to the center. So a count of 8 on the way down. Advance as we come forward. Retreat as we move backwards. Off to the left. And you watch the hands as they go up and down, forward and back, side to side. Pick a hand as we come up and exhale as we come down. Last cycle. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. And inhaling. And we bring the feet back together. And that was the class for today. The second half of Open and Filling the 8 Vessels. See you next time.